September 26, 2009. A 7th grader from Hardy, Arkansas, who was teased at school as well as MySpace, took her own life. This girl just a week prior had been voted homecoming queen, and from an outside perspective, you would think that she was a popular, well-loved girl. This is just one of the 1,000 examples of a bullied young person thinking the only way to go is to commit suicide. 10 years ago, the word bullying meant something drastically different than it does today. Statistics in the United States show that about 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. are bullied on a regular basis. Between verbal and cyberbullying, 77% of all students have been involved in a bullying incident this year. Parents, teachers, and administrators all need to work together to make this problem stop. 2 different types of bullying are verbal and cyber. Verbal bullying being just what it sounds like, interpersonal contact face-to-face. A good example of this would be in high school when you were in gym class. Say that you were being picked for a flag football team or a kickball team. Being that last kid picked can really have an effect on that person. If you're the first or second kid, you might not realize that that's really hurting that child's feelings. Another example of bullying is cyberbullying. This is also what it sounds like. It's online. It's hiding behind a screen and bullying kids and saying things that are hurtful and can really have an impact on their life. This tends to be much more intense than verbal bullying because, like I was saying, the kid is hiding behind a screen and they feel a lot more comfortable saying these hurtful things. Bullying victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to consider committing suicide. The number 1 form of bullying is done over the internet or phone. It is much easier for a teenager to hide behind a cell phone than say something face-to-face to one of their peers. Parents should be more aware of what is going on in their child's life, especially online. They should be monitoring their websites and seeing what they're doing and who they're talking to. I feel if that could happen, parents could really have an impact and help prevent bullying before it gets out of hand. On the other side of that, the child or the victim being bullied should feel comfortable talking to their parent, teacher, or someone they trust. Even if their home life isn't that great, I feel like a teacher should be that next person that they have that relationship with to feel comfortable and confide in them. And even if that child might not feel comfortable doing that and they think that them telling on the person might make it worse or make their situation far more worse than it was, well, then someone should step up and be able to say something for that person. A statistic on DoSomething.org states 75% of students admit they have visited a web page bashing one of their peers. If only one person says something, that can change a victim's life, and maybe even keep a young person from taking their own life. A lot of people don't think bullying will actually end this way, and most think that it's just something every kid needs to go through. But that's not true. A national average states that 4,400 kids take their own life each year from bullying. Recognizing bullying is something that needs to be enforced at every school across the country. Many schools already have seminars or programs for no bullying. But is that really enough? I attended several of those seminars growing up, and I never really paid attention or watched what was going on because you're in an auditorium with hundreds and hundreds of other kids. I feel like you need a more personal connection when learning about the real effects of bullying. I would sit in a room for an hour, and then after that, I would go back to my normal day, and I wouldn't even think about what I had seen in those skits. These are obviously not working, and I believe more can be done. The idea I came up with when researching this topic was for each teacher to get taught in a course on bullying and the real effects and the real day-to-day statistics of the effects it has on children in their own classroom. After they go through this proper training, they can spend an hour, maybe even just a month or every other month, talking about bullying to their individual class, giving it that more personal connection. And a lot of people might think that this might not be a very real thing to do and that it might not the teachers might not have time to do that with other things they're doing, other things they have going on. But I think that a teacher has that responsibility to really care about the kids in their class, and I think that they could really make that work. If a student were to come up to a teacher and confide in them, I think that that teacher should know what to do and the proper steps to take to help that child. And so I think a more realistic solution would be to bring in professionals and counselors that are certified and experienced with dealing with bullying cases. They can collaborate with teachers on ways to stop bullying from going on in the classroom. Now, a lot of people might say that this won't help out for cyberbullying, but I think that if kids really learn about bullying in their classrooms, then maybe they can take that information home and stop the abuse. Bullying is becoming more prominent and getting more severe as the years go by. Both verbal and cyberbullying have gotten much, much worse as time goes by, and it's just going to keep getting worse if people don't take steps right now to stop it. And I think that teachers, parents, and administrators should all be more aware of what is going on and be able to recognize the signs of bullying. Thank you, guys.